Is Onimusha any good in 2026? Onimusha Way of the Sword is coming out soon. They haven't announced a release date, but it's supposed to be coming out this year. It looks awesome. And I was thinking to myself, I've never played the Onimusha series. Let's check it out and see if it's any good. I played it on the Switch. It was like the remastered version of Onimusha Warlords. And I remember seeing this game on the PlayStation 2 in the game store, GameStop, EB Games back in the day. It always looked really cool to me, but I wasn't sure if it was something that I wanted to play, so I never picked it up. But I did just over the past few days. Was it any good? Is it a pass? Is the Onimusha series have any promise, or should Capcom just forget about it and stop with Way of the Sword? Anyhow, so first impressions upon booting it up, it has this amazing intro cinematic. It looks like it's supposed to be a movie, you know what I mean? Like back in 2001 when this game released, that intro cinematic was great. It was very cool. It set up like Nobunaga fighting against the other factions. I don't know Japanese history very well, but it was like these warlords fighting against each other. The game is called Warlords, so I expected there to be like some battles, some big battles and stuff. I didn't know what to expect. The game started and I was like, what is this? It was nothing like the cutscene. It was not action packed. The voice acting was really bad. Here's a sample of the voice acting. It was absolutely awful.
Samanosuke, it's really you. Oh, I knew that you would come to save me.
You! Ah! Sorry.
We are very sorry. Please forgive us.
And I was extremely tempted to change it to Japanese. Usually when that happens and I can't stand the voice acting, I switch it. But I was like, you know what, let me just, maybe this is part of the charm. Maybe this is part of the way that I'll remember this game. So let me leave it on English. I was like, oh, maybe I won't enjoy this, but I'll give it an hour. It immediately throws you into a boss battle. And of course you lose. Right? And then it shows this cutscene of you losing and stuff. Spoilers. But as I played through the game, it was like, it gives you this sword that's attached to your arm. You're like the Onimusha, the Oni swordsman, right? So it has this special magical abilities, and you can pick up different gems that slot into the sword that give you either an electric, like a lightning ability, a fire ability, or a wind ability. I mean, you can dynamically swap between the swords, and they each have their own mana pool. So let's say you run out of magic because you've used all of the magical ability for the fire sword, then you can swap to one of the other ones, and your mana bar is all the way up again because you haven't used that. It was really cool. Anyway, but the gameplay was very addicting. I was not expecting that. I thought, oh no, this is one of those pre-rendered games like Resident Evil. It's going to be a nail biter, I thought. It was going to be really difficult and I thought I was going to hate it, but it really wasn't that hard. I played on normal difficulty, and as long as you're careful and you like listen for where the enemies are, because sometimes they'll be off screen. They'll be in another area of the hallway and you'll have to like look around and make sure that you are being cautious about when you're blocking or not, because there's like a perfect block mechanic and all that. As I was playing the game, I was like, man, this is so fun, because the gameplay loop, it presents to you as every time you defeat an enemy, you can absorb the experience points, or they call them souls, from the demons that you kill in each area. And then when you find a save point, yeah, it has save points like older PS2 games. When you find a save point, you can upgrade your sword or your medicine or whatever. So you can go around and gather souls, and then you come back and you upgrade your sword, and now it does more damage, or now it has more gems available in it, so you can unlock other areas of the map. And it was like a very addicting loop, and I didn't think about this while I was playing, but it reminded me almost exactly of Demon Souls. I enjoyed Demon Souls a lot. That was a great game when it came out on the PlayStation 3. Played the heck out of it. Played so many runs on that game. Dropped off the Souls series when Dark Souls came out. I felt like it was a little more gimmicky. It was like it was trying to kill you. It didn't give you a chance to be a cautious player. Dark Souls became a series in my mind. I might replay it someday. I don't know. But Dark Souls became a series to me that was like intentionally wasting your time. It wanted you to die so that you could retry the run with the new knowledge that you gained from dying. But in Demon Souls, it gave you a chance. Every time you encountered an enemy or something, sometimes people would jump out at you and stuff. But if you were cautious, I feel like I was always able to get out of a situation. There wasn't a situation in in Demon Souls where you would just die for nothing, you know? So I appreciated that. And Onimusha felt the same way. I felt in control of the character, and the gameplay loop was such that as you progress, you feel stronger and you defeat the weaker enemies and you start defeating the stronger enemies and you learn their tactics and their attack patterns and stuff. It was really rewarding, and it was way too short. I think it was only like 3.5 hours or 4 hours, and I finished the game in 3 gaming sessions. Yes, 10 out of 10. Well, maybe not 10 out of 10. The voice acting left something to be desired. The game was too short, the story was underdeveloped, but it definitely left room for the sequel, which apparently I guess there are at least three games from the past that I'd like to play, so I'm definitely going to jump in on the second one. But yes, Onimusha Warlords is definitely worth playing. If you have a chance to pick it up, I got it for $10 on sale on the Switch eShop. I'm sure it's available on everything now, you know? It's worth playing. Dip your toes into it if you enjoy the Souls series. It's a great game. So I guess one disclosure is there are some darker themes. I mean, the whole theme of the game is like that Nobunaga is like using dark magic to strengthen him and his armies so that he can be the great unifier of Japan, right? He's usually the bad guy in these kind of games. So if that disturbs you, you know, don't play this game, because there is some violence and there's human sacrifice and stuff like that hinted throughout the game. So there are some disturbing elements. You know, it still has that horror kind of esque vibe to it. It's not a real horror game, but it kind of has those darker elements to it. So short disclosure on that, but otherwise, yeah. Well, this game surprised me. There are a lot of other games that surprised me, so I think I might go back and share my experiences with those. Who knows? Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.